Let's talk about dictionary iteration. You can get multiple views of the contents of a dictionary, which are different objects that are all iterable. An iterable value is any value that can be passed to iter, the built-in function, to produce an iterator. And an iterator is returned from iter and can be passed to the built-in next function. All iterators are mutable objects, and when you call next on them, they mutate to point to the next element. A dictionary, and its keys, and its values, and its items are all iterable values. All can be passed into iter, and the resulting iterators can be passed into next. The order of items in a dictionary is the order in which they were added. This is true of the most recent versions of Python, starting at Python 3.6. However, in older versions of Python, items in a dictionary appeared in an arbitrary order. Dictionaries were called unordered collections of key-value pairs as a result. But now they are ordered. Although when you write Python code, it's a good idea to keep in mind that depending on the version of Python that people use to run your program, ordering of dictionaries may not be reliable. But I'll assume in my examples that we're using a recent version of Python, and therefore dictionaries will end up ordered according to how they were constructed. So if I have a dictionary with 3 keys and 3 values, 1 is bound to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, and then I add a 4th value, 0 is bound to 0, then I would expect that iterating over the keys would give me 1, 2, 3, and then 0, because 0 was added last. And here's how I iterate over the keys. I say I want an iterator by calling the iter function over the keys. If you don't say d.keys, but instead just say d, you get the same effect. You iterate over the keys. And this k is an iterator over keys, which means if I ask for the next one, I'll get 1, then 2, then 3, then 0. If instead I wanted to iterate over the values in a dictionary, I would ask for the values. This object is an iterable object that provides access to all of the values in the order that the dictionary was constructed. So the next value is 1, then 2, then 3, then 0. And finally, I can ask for items in the dictionary. Those are key value pairs represented as tuples. So the first one is 1, where we get both the key and the value in a 2-element tuple, and then 2, then 3, then 0. So there are many ways to iterate over the contents of a dictionary, and the way that Python is designed, there's only one dictionary, D. I can access different views of it by asking for the keys, values, or items, and I can get an iterator for any of those. Now, one interesting thing to note is that if I have a dictionary, and I've already constructed an iterator over the keys, and I'm in the middle of iterating over those keys, and I change the dictionary, now it's the case that the iterator is invalid. And so I see this error, dictionary changed size during iteration, which says that I cannot use k anymore because the dictionary has been mutated while I was using k. So our dictionary now looks like this. If I just change the value for one of the keys while I'm iterating through the keys, so here's 1, 2, and then I change 0 to 5, I can continue to iterate because I haven't changed the shape or the structure of the dictionary. I've just changed one of the values for the keys. But if the dictionary changes size, then I can't use any of the iterators I've constructed. Instead, I need to make new ones. And that's true for keys, values, or items.